In our last video, we made this star pattern with just a compass and a ruler and explored how many variations were achievable with a little creative coloring. But this design reaches its true potential when repeated, and that's what we'll do right now. Here's a quick recap of the steps that we took last video. Set our compass measurement, which determines the radius of our circle. Remember that measurement in case we need to reset it later. Make a mark on your page. Place the compass needle on that mark and make a circle. That's your sun. Now place your compass needle anywhere on the sun and make another circle. That now creates two intersections, so we set our needle on those and circle. This forms two new intersections, so we circle on those. This leaves us one last intersection, and circling this completes the flower shape in the center and gives us 6 equidistant circles around the sun. To form our star, we draw lines between the tips of our petals, make marks halfway through those lines, and use those marks to make two opposing triangles, which become the 6 sides of our 6-pointed star. This is where we left off last time, and expanding on this is super simple. We simply look for more intersections, place our needle on them, and build new circles around these points. We've now got a second completed flower that we could use to make an adjacent star to our first. But before we worry about that, let's just keep expanding as far as we can. At this point, we're looking really good. We've filled our entire page with our pattern, and what we need to do now is arrange things so that we get them in the order that we want them to be. It can get a little bit confusing because everything starts to look the same. We have a few options, and let's look at 3 using these blue circles. The first arrangement starts by simply lining up adjacent circles, so I'll add blue circles to the right and left of our first. This looks good, but when I try expanding vertically, I realize that they aren't lining up in the same way. Instead, I get overlaps on the tops and bottoms of each circle, but no overlap horizontally. A stacked and staggered arrangement can counter this imbalance. We follow the same principle, but move each vertical row over slightly so that each circle is touching 6 neighbors. And the third arrangement is a nest, where we embrace the overlaps and organize our circles so that each one doesn't just touch its neighboring 6 stars, but shares an overlap with them. These are the most straightforward, but there are so many more options. I find 2 and 3 to have the most potential for variation, so let's look at a few designs that I was able to make out of those 2.